In Bethlehem, the prophet Samuel arrives. Guided by God, he seeks out a shepherd boy named David and anoints him with oil, declaring him the future king of Israel. David does not yet realize how his life is about to change. David spends his days tending his father's sheep. With a harp in hand, he sings to soothe the flock, his heart full of faith and love for God. Across the valley, the Philistine giant Goliath mocks Israel, challenging them to send a warrior. Fear grips the Israelite soldiers as no one dares to face him. Hearing Goliath's taunts, young David steps forward. He approaches King Saul and offers to fight, trusting in the power of the Lord. Saul gives David his armor, but it is too heavy. David removes it, choosing instead to face Goliath with only his faith and a sling. At a nearby stream, David selects 5 smooth stones. With his sling in hand, he prepares for battle, believing victory comes from God, not weapons. The day of the duel arrives. David strides onto the battlefield. Goliath laughs at the sight of him, but David stands firm, unshaken. With a swift motion, David slings a stone. It strikes Goliath's forehead, and the giant falls. The Israelites cheer as David triumphs. David returns a hero. The people sing his praises, celebrating the shepherd who defeated their greatest enemy. Saul grows envious. As David's fame rises, Saul's heart fills with jealousy. He fears losing his throne to the young warrior beloved by the people. In the midst of Saul's envy, David finds a true friend in Jonathan, Saul's son. Their bond is strong, built on loyalty and trust. Saul plots against David, forcing him to flee. Now a fugitive, David roams the wilderness, still trusting in God's plan. In the cave of Adullam, David gathers a band of followers, men who are discontent and weary. They pledge their loyalty to him. Saul relentlessly hunts David, seeing him as a threat. He does not realize that David is closer than he thinks. One day, Saul enters a cave where David is hiding. David has a chance to kill him, but instead cuts a piece of Saul's robe. From a distance, David holds up the torn robe. "I could have killed you, but I chose to honor you," he declares. Saul is moved. Saul acknowledges David's righteousness, realizing that God is with him. He weeps, filled with guilt and regret. After Saul's death, David is anointed king of Israel. The people rejoice, celebrating the rise of a brave and humble leader. David brings the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. He dances before the Lord, uniting the nation in worship. As David reflects on his journey, he pens psalms, expressing his love for God. His legacy of faith and leadership endures for generations.